So recently, there's been a lot of negative news in the Western press about President Duterte of the Philippines. So just to get things in context, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I've never had any sort of drug in my system. I dislike drugs. I hope other young people would not take drugs, but I believe it is their choice. As a government, your role is to help. I don't support extrajudicial killing in any way, but I really like his answers to this American reporter in this particular interview. So let's take a listen.
Mr. President, at the risk of being shot down, the numbers of people who have been killed on the streets of the Philippines since you came to power 6 weeks ago have risen to around 1,000. Now, I know you have been contemptuous of your critics, but they are accusing you of unleashing a national death squad. Where is this going to end? Because some are saying that the social fabric of the Philippines is at risk here.
Good. That's a very good question. It can happen. It happens in America. They're shooting the blacks there. It shows on TV. It shows on TV. What's the difference between America and the Philippines? Nothing. So what is surprising here is surprising to us. We say policemen, they're shooting a black guy there. How many times had it happened in the past? That's why you have the violent demonstration. So, would it surprise you and me? Almost the same. One case only, 3 cases here. So what? It involves the same principle. Say, for every 1 black there dead, you have about 5 here. And so, does it make this world more livable because there is less killing? When you shoot a black there, dead, what is that? Is that not appalling? When you bomb Syria and Iraq, and you kill communities, and you kill children and old people and hospital, what is it? And why is it that United States is not doing anything? I do not read anybody in that stupid body complaining about the stench there of that. Look at the iconic boy that was taken out from the rubble. And he was made to sit in the ambulance, and we saw it. So what's the difference? Life of a criminal, or maybe he was really rubbed out. We cannot discount it. But what do you think that Americans did to the black people there? Is that not rubbing out also? I say, well, it was just one community there, one state of America. Well, but you have there about 10. So what's the difference? Are we here for the counting or the basic principles of human rights? Almost the same.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So you just saw how he responded to the reporter. So you see, the reporter was very condescending in his question, trying to undercut the legitimacy of any answer that the president was going to give. He asked that question with a pumped up ego, like, I am from the West, I am white, and I'm better than you. So the issue is about how American media has been demonizing other people in terms of human rights and other things when they have so much issues in their backyard to talk about. So the American maltreatment and oppression of the black people in the US really undercuts any legitimacy that they have in the international scene to talk about human rights. Not just how they treat the black people, but also how they go around bombing and torturing other places. So Duterte was not doing anything new. He was asking questions that most people around the world usually ask, but because the media doesn't report it, Americans don't hear it. And you can see that the media tried to not report it. So you can search Duterte and you see that they don't report about some of the gutsiest things that he was saying against the US. Look at the United States. Are you not committing human rights violations? Should the UN come in? Because all these international media are clamoring and saying the UN should come in and do something about what's happening in Philippines. I think it is wrong. Something should be done about it. But he's asking a very good question. If we are committing human rights violations and you think the UN should come, What about America, who has consistently and continued to commit human rights violations? So the issue is about international law, human rights, and the issue of civilized versus barbaric. The conversation has always been portrayed in a way that US is seen as the civilized, or the West is seen as the civilized people, and the rest of the world is the barbaric, group. But Duterte is saying, if the reasons why you think we are civilized, you are civilized, and we are barbaric, are actually happening in your place, what's the difference between you and I, so that you can sit down and wag your fingers at me? But as the Bible in Matthew chapter 7 verse 5 says, you hypocrite, first remove the beam out of your eye, and then you can see clearly to remove the speck out of your brother's eye. What this means is that America needs to take care of its own shit, or the West needs to take care of their own shit before they go around poking fingers and pointing fingers at other people for human rights violations and things like that.